What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another Arsenal update video. Today, we'll be looking at the latest news surrounding Arsenal, some transfer business we're being linked with, as well as returns from injury for a few of our key players, the likes of Zinchenko, Odegaard, and Emil Smith-Rowe. International break, people, is not easy, to be fair. I'm a little bit bored of it already, and it's only been a few days. I'm just looking forward to seeing Premier League football come back sooner rather than later, that is for sure. Big up to everyone who tuned in for the AFTV live yesterday, Talk is Cheap show that we did. That I did with Cecil yesterday. Very good show, good vibes, and big up to everyone who was in the comments throwing C Unit all over the comments. So big up to each and every one of you. Before we do get into today's video, Football Content Awards finals have been announced. We are in the finals for two categories this year. Best in video and best content creator. Now, best content creator is the biggest individual award at the whole awards. Obviously, last year we won best new content creator, which was amazing. This year we're up for best content creator, as we're not eligible anymore for best new content creator. So if you could get nominating, it would be massively appreciated. The link is in the description below. Best content creator, Curtis Shaw TV. If we could win that, wow, it would be unbelievable. And we're up for best in video creator as well. Last year I came second in that one, so it'd be good to win that one as well, people. So both the links will be in the description. If you could support the channel, it would be much appreciated. Let's get into today's video. Transfer window is closed, but it doesn't stop transfer business continuing. Arsenal being linked today with a move for somebody that we've been linked with for a while, actually, and that is Italian international midfielder Manuel Locatelli of Juventus. Now, Arsenal were tracking this guy for a long time when he played for Sassuolo in Italy. He's now being linked with a move away from Juventus. Juventus, of course, who didn't win the title in Serie A last year. AC Milan, with former Arsenal player Olivier Giroud, they won the title last year. Juventus finished fourth behind Inter, Napoli and AC Milan. And they've started this season very, very sluggish. They're already down in eighth. They're already trailing leaders Napoli by 7 points. And it's believed that manager Allegri is very unhappy with Locatelli. He's been unimpressed by his ability to cope with the system and the demands of the manager. It's believed that Paul Pogba could be the long-term replacement for him. When they signed Paul Pogba, there was a lot of people saying that Pogba and Locatelli would be their future partnership. It's now believed they could be willing to cash in on Locatelli as early as January, and it's believed they would want around £40 million for Locatelli, a player that they signed for £30 million last season from Sassuolo. The likes of Weston McKennie, Leandro Paredes, who they've just signed from PSG. Rabiot has turned it around a little bit after his failed move to Manchester United in the summer as well. So Locatelli, who's injured at the moment, seems to be falling down the pecking order at Juventus and is very disappointed with his lack of regular starts. Would you like to see Arsenal go back in for Locatelli? If we're being totally honest, Locatelli, he palmed us off to join Juventus. There were rumours, that he kissed the badge of Juventus when he signed. It was a dream of his to join the club. He's still only 24 years of age, turns 25 in January. Would you like to see Locatelli come to Arsenal? We weren't the first priority of his. I think we know this, but would you still be willing to take a chance on him? Anybody that watches Serie A on a regular basis, do you think he's still a top player? Does he need to just go somewhere else and try his football elsewhere? Is he somebody you would still take? Or do you think that this is a bit of a false rumour and Allegri is going to give him another full season at Juventus before pulling the trigger on potentially selling him from Juventus? I have to admit, it would seem a little bit quick for Juventus to just give up on him. But they are having a tough time. And the manager is under pressure. And when managers are under pressure, they want to bring new players in. And that usually means players going out. We saw Arthur was let go by Juventus. He went to Liverpool on loan. Could Locatelli be the next one out of the door at Juventus? Would you pay £40 million for him? Would you be willing to bring him to Arsenal? Let me know in the comments, people. I personally think he is a good player and would have something to offer. Let's talk about another midfielder that we were linked with time and time again, and that is Youri Tielemans. I got a little bit bored with talking about this guy, to be honest. A lot of people started saying, you know, he's desperate to get his move to Arsenal at the weekend after he scored a penalty for Leicester against Tottenham. It had to be retaken, of course. But he started the season pretty sluggish, if we're being honest. Leicester, rock bottom of the table, 1 point so far this season. Manager Brendan Rodgers is the favourite to be sacked in the Premier League as the next manager to go. Obviously, they're under massive pressure at the moment. And Youri Tielemans has spoken about a failed move in the summer. Tielemans says, which, you know, I expect him to say, he doesn't regret not leaving Leicester in the summer. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. You're rock bottom of the league. But he did say it was a relief. And it was a breathing space for him to go on international duty and play for Belgium, as he feels there is a lot of pressure at Leicester at the moment with them being bottom of the league, and also says it's a bit of a negative situation. Rumours coming out of Belgium today that he could leave in January due to Leicester's financial difficulty. Leicester, of course, only signed a couple of players in the summer transfer window. One was a backup goalkeeper. One was a fairly unknown defender from France, despite the fact that they'd sold Fofana for big money. It's believed Leicester could be willing to accept as low as £17 million for Tielemans in January, due to the fact they want to recoup money. It doesn't look as if he's willing to commit to a new contract. The issue with that, would Arsenal be willing to pay 17 million, or would they sit it out and say, listen, by the end of May, the season's done, you can get him on a free transfer? We know that Arsenal like to, you know, do business in the right way as far as they see it. I think the fans would say simply go and pay the money and get the player in. I have to admit, and I've said many times, I don't think Youri Tielemans is necessarily the answer for Arsenal. I think his lack of mobility is a big problem. But for the likes of £17 million, I would bring him in. There's no guarantees he would even get in the starting lineup, if we're being honest, because of the partnership with Partey and Xhaka at the moment. But I do think Arsenal need to sign a midfielder in January. Would you take Youri Tielemans for £17 million? Let me know in the comments below. Or would you wait until the summer, when you could potentially get him on a free transfer? So let me know regarding that one, people. Let's talk about players returning from injury. We know we've got 3 key players unavailable at the moment: Alexander Zinchenko, Emil Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard. The first bit of news is that the Norwegian manager has spoken regarding Martin Odegaard, who is, of course, nursing a calf injury at the moment. And the Norway coach says he's still optimistic that he could make international duty for Norway. He went on to say he has had some scans in London after he pulled out of training the day before the Brentford game. It is not a serious injury and he will recover quite quickly. But the question is, how quickly will he recover? He hasn't flown out to Norway. He's still being treated for the injury in London. But the manager says he is optimistic that he could take part in one, if not both, of the international matches for Norway during this international break. I'm sure Arsenal will be taking a lot of caution surrounding this injury. Even if he was fit and available, I'd probably be trying to hold him back. We've got a massive game after the international break, Tottenham in the North London derby. We need all the options available that we can possibly get. So Martin Odegaard, seems as if that injury is not as serious as some people were saying it could possibly be at the start. In terms of Zinchenko, we know that he has been removed from the Ukraine squad for this international break. His injury seems as if it was a little bit worse than Martin Odegaard's. Will he be back for the Tottenham game after the break? Again, Mikel Arteta has not disclosed that. He made it sound as if in the press conference he may have even been available for Brentford. That wasn't the case. Will he be available for the game against Tottenham? Again, we need all options available, and let's hope Zinchenko is back and available for that one, because definitely somebody that can help us, and you know, he has qualities, whether that's in midfield or at left back. In terms of Emil Smith-Rowe, there was a report the other day in The Athletic saying that Emil Smith-Rowe, it's believed that a lot of these injuries are genuinely due to his growth. He's still a young player, still probably growing, and it's believed that this injury that he suffered is to do with an ongoing problem that he is suffering in his groin due to his growing at the moment. And it's believed there is no time limit at the moment on how long he could be out for at the moment. So let's hope he's not out for too long. He would be he would be a vital component in our season. He scored double figures last year. He's a fantastic option to bring off the bench or to start. And hopefully Emil Smith-Rowe is back sooner rather than later. One final bit of news regarding Arsenal. William Saliba, the man in form, the Colossus centre-back at the moment. Reports coming out of France that he is close to a contract extension with Arsenal. This needs to be signed sooner rather than later. I was speaking about it yesterday with Cecil on the Talkish Cheap Show that, listen, every game he plays well, his agent may be asking for a little bit more money. I'm sure the likes of Madrid, Barcelona, PSG will be looking at him. We have to tie him down to a new deal. He's on 40 grand a week at the moment. It is important that Arsenal get him on a new deal. He's probably going to want 100 grand a week plus, but he's worth it. For me, as I said, he's one of the best defenders we've had at Arsenal in a long, long time, and we need to get him to commit to a new deal. So let's hope that's dealt with sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for tuning in today, people. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Again, links in the description below. We're in the finals of the Football Content Awards. If you could vote, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow with a live stream, people. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bless.